we move on to discuss some of the top soccer headlines, and we will start off. We will start off with so Osimhen is official. He has sealed the it's always tongue twister me saying this. Galatasaray. He has joined Galatasaray on a season-long loan from Napoli. It's been announced Galatasaray will pay 6 million euros to get it done, and Osimhen actually signed the contract extension with Napoli last December through 2026, with the reported release clause of 130 million, and so Napoli now have in that clause, Napoli have an agreement with Osimhen, so that they have an option to extend his contract until 2027. And Osimhen, he found himself in a sort of tough position this summer. We've already discussed it. So he is going to Galatasaray, and I've already told him my opinion. It's a shame that a player of his qualities leaving to the Turkish league because he couldn't find another way out of Napoli. Roma, they were able to sign Matt Hummels. They were able to sign Matt Hummels. Matt Hummels has been a free agent. This is coming off, being the center back, being the leader, the captain of a team. I don't know if he was the captain. I have to check that. But figuratively, a captain of the team that went to the Champions League final. And then now he's looking for a new club, and he has signed for Roma. Hummels, he left Dortmund when his contract expired. He spent 13 years with Dortmund, having 508 appearances, of course, 2 spells, because he had 2 spells there at Dortmund, sandwiched between where he had a brief spell at Bayern Munich, which is typical of any sort of German player that has any sort of talent. They always have a time in Bayern Munich. He had his 3 years at Bayern where he had 74 appearances, But yeah, the 35-year-old has signed the season-long deal and is expected to be around 2.5 million euros. And Hummels also has 78 caps for Germany, and he was a part of that 2014 World Cup winning team, and he was surprisingly left off this summer's team at the European Championship. But yeah, Angel Gomez has left Manchester United, or he left, we know this happened a while back, but he left Manchester United to join Lille. And, a lot of us forgot about him, honestly. I remember Angel Gomez a little bit, but now he's earned his first call-up for England, which is a great story there. Lee Carsley, who obviously been, working in the ranks, is aware of him, knows him, in the English youth setup. And Lee Carsley has picked him to play in the games against the Republic of Ireland and Finland. Angel Gomez said, when I left, it was more for the idea to better myself as a person, and obviously as a person. I knew that myself as a player, and obviously as a person, I knew that eventually I'd be able to create a pathway for myself to be in the position that I'm in now. It was difficult leaving the club that I was at from 6 years old. From then, it has been an uphill trajectory, but also with a lot of difficulties and difficult moments. But being in the position now makes it all worth it. Gomez was actually part of the extended list of players that was actually under consideration to reach the European Championship with Gareth Southgate, but he missed out. And when he spoke about that, he said, believe it or not, I was pre-selected in the group of a lot of England players. Whenever the squad was getting announced, I would get the email, but obviously you get told whether you get a phone call or you'll know whether you're in the squad or not. I missed it a lot of a lot of the times, but I know if I kept that sooner or later, I would be able to create a pathway for myself. I'm just thankful that I'm here now and I'm able to showcase myself. I just didn't quite make the group, but I always feel to keep going. And yeah, England are going to take on the Republic of Ireland in Dublin, which actually leads me to my next point. Where was that? We know, that Jack Grealish was, part of the Irish setup, and he originally was gonna play for the Republic of Ireland, but now he's been but he has since changed, switched allegiance to England, and Republic of Ireland striker Callum Robinson, is sort of warning him. Robinson was, really good friends with Grealish. Says the 28-year-old should expect some abuse. Speaking about it, he said, "I'd be surprised if he doesn't, because I think he gets booed anywhere he goes anyway, even in England. I think he'll be getting ready for a bit of abuse, but that's part of it. It's part of the game. He's old enough, and with being a senior player now, that stuff going to come. As I said, he gets in English games. I don't think there will be any games on Saturday, any change on Saturday. I think he will be getting it. There's obviously, this happens all the time. Even Joel Embiid, going back to basketball at the Summer Olympic Games, playing in France, he chose the U.S. over France every time he got the ball, and not even the games that he was playing against France. This just in general. Every time he got the ball, he got the abuse, he got the boos, and that's just how it works. Fans will be unhappy when you make that sort of decisions, and especially it's not, him not playing for Ireland is one thing, and it's something he'll get booed about. Is on top of that he goes to England that makes it work, and that's normally what it is with England and Ireland, or England and Wales, England, Northern Ireland, all that. Usually when you're a dual national of those sort of one of those countries, you're also English, you're born in England and all that. That's just what it is. We know Shea Adams, he's an English player, but he has Scottish heritage, was allowed him to play for Scotland. It's how it works. The U.S. also benefits like that. Yunus Musa, Anthony Robinson, there's a lot of players in there that's two national. Sergino Dest. Now it's a little bit different in the U.S. because a lot of these players are primarily going for the U.S. because they're just not good enough for that. For Anthony Robinson's case, actually now with the left back pool he is good enough, honestly, but Yunus Musa, it's a little bit tricky one because that one will happen when he was really, really young, and I think he legitimately chose the U.S. Because some of these happen really, really. Actually, I take that back with the U.S. men's national team in terms of they're only playing for the U.S. Because they're not good enough for their country. Because some of these players are making their choices, when they're really, really young, when they don't know. Yunus Musa made his choice at 17, 18 years old. Sergino Dest at 18, 18, 19 years old. And Sergino Dest was rated really, really highly, and someone that really could have came up the Dutch ranks. Anthony Robinson, that one is a little bit different, but still 2021, I believe. He's still, it's different. The U.S. has, under Greg Berhalter, the one thing he's been able to get really correct is, the recruitment. They've done really good recruiting. So I take that back. The U.S. are they're being able to recruit players. But with this sort of case, it happens, and he's going to get the boos. He's going to get the boos. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit